Hello, scientists. Mrs. Kodish coming to you on Wednesday night, but you're doing this lesson on a Thursday afternoon. So I would just like to talk to you about yesterday, Wednesday's activity. You did climate versus weather and what the differences are between the two. So we're going to kind of go from there and actually head into our packet. This says, what is a climate zone? What is a climate zone? So you already learned about what climate is and the differences between climate and weather. And I'm going to read about that again. Before we go into the reading, I would like you to try to do this page first, which is actually page 67, Time to Think. And this says, why do people want to know about the weather of a place before they go on holiday, meaning a vacation? Why would they want to know about the weather there before they go on vacation there? So put an idea there. What would you pack if you were going on vacation to the Arctic? The Arctic. Well, what's that a picture of? Looks like an iceberg to me. So the Arctic, we'll have to talk about where the Arctic is and the map in just a few minutes. And then at the bottom, what would you pack if you were going on vacation in Hawaii? Hawaii. Well, according to the picture, it looks like there's a beach and sand and palm trees. What would you pack to go to those different places? And what does this have to do with climate? Well, as we know, climate, and again, we'll start reading on this page in a second, but the difference between climate and weather is that weather's day to day, and climate is actually weather over a period of time to see patterns in weather. So let's take a look at a map for a moment to see where the Arctic is. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen so you can see where the Arctic is. As you can see, I wish I had my globe here, but it's at school. But anyway, we are here. You can see our little mitten right here in North America. And then the Arctic Ocean and is up by the North Pole. Well, Santa's at the North Pole, so it must be pretty what? Cold. It must be pretty cold up there. Yeah. So the Arctic is at the top of our globe, top of our world in the North Pole. Okay, so now let's turn to the next page and read that page together. You could pause the video and do this page and fill this out. And then you can continue to read the next page with me. What is climate? Weather describes the outside conditions of a place right now. So weather is what's going on right now. However, when you are going on holiday, you need to be prepared for what the weather will be like in the future while you are there. To do this, we look at the country's climate. The climate describes what the country's weather is usually like during that time. Climate is the average weather conditions in a place over many years. Usually they say like 30 years, over like 30 years. So what are the patterns over 30 years so they can determine or guess what the weather's probably going to be like this year. For example, the climate in Minneapolis is cold and snowy in the winter, while Miami's climate is hot and humid. So those are on opposite sides of our North America, of our country. There are 5 major climate zones, and this is where I colored this, and I'm thinking you could color this as well. Now I did it kind of quick and with marker, so it would be more brilliant, like the colors would be brighter. But let me show you, and I'm adding this to the video so that you can pause the video and color yours as well. So let me share my screen. So this is what I got that from, because this didn't color copy, of course. But as you can see, the polar region, which is really cold, well, then it's going to be blue, right? Looks like ice. So that would be up. See us? We're this little mitten guy in the green. But up above us in Canada, and Alaska's over here. And up by the North Pole, it's pretty cold up there. But that goes all the way around the globe to this land over here as well, which is like Russia, over in like the Russia area. And then the temperate zones, which is the green, would be more like weather that we get in Michigan. We get all 4 seasons, and the weather's just not severe either way. We just get all 4 seasons and experience all kind of temperate weather. Arid means dry. Arid means that we, whoops, one second. Little break in the action here. One second. All right, sorry about that. I had a little kitten adventure here. Anyway, so as you can see here, and what's nice about this too, you can pause to see down here as well. Arid is dry and hot all year. So arid would be these yellow ones, and this is more like the desert area here in the United States. Colorado, Arizona, more than Colorado, more so, Utah, there's Mexico, New Mexico, Texas. So these areas are more dry and don't get a lot of rain. And they're hot year round. Wouldn't that be sweet? And then this is Africa, in the first half of Africa. So there's, and then this is Australia. So you can color these zones yellow. And then tropical zones are in red. Tropical zones are in red. And as you can think about tropical, and we'll take a look down here, it's hot and wet all year. Hot and wet all year. Whoops, I was going to show you a picture, which would be like where the rainforests are, would be tropical zones. Tropical zones. All right. Okay, and then the orange would be Mediterranean. So this is California, one of our states in the United States. And some of these areas here, Europe, Asia, Europe anyway. And then those areas in the orange, and a little bit of South America, and a little bit of Australia, and Mediterranean areas are mild winters, dry, hot summers. So not very big winters. They might get a little bit colder temperatures, but not very. And then the mountains, of course, is very cold all year because those are raised above the ground, of course. And those are the really big mountains, just not like Michigan mountains. These are the really big ones. And as you can see with black, those would be the areas that have mountains. So those would be really cold. So why would we want to know this if we were traveling? Well, if I'm here in my wonderful Great Lakes state right here, and I would like to travel somewhere, let's say in Australia, and if I'm in green, that means I'm having all seasons. And so I check the season I'm in, and then, oh, but I'd really like to go to Australia. So I fly over here. Well, over here, it looks like it's going to be hot and dry. Perfect. I would like hot and dry right now. So I could travel over there, and that would tell me what to bring and what to wear and what to pack. So obviously I wouldn't bring my sweaters and my winter jacket. So it's important to know where in the world are you going to travel. So we'll do a little experiment, or not experiment, but we'll do some more talk and adventures with traveling around the world to say, what are you going to pack? All right, excuse me. So I am done sharing that as far as that goes. You are going to, as I said before, you can color. Please color this just so you get an idea. If you don't do it perfectly, it's seriously okay. Just color this so you get an idea of the colors and the zones. As you can see, I colored the boxes too, so I could see which color blue stands for and which color green, and so on and so forth. So you will be doing that work for today. And then we actually are starting one of the next page, the next page we are not going to do the climate zones. You can cross that off or just leave that alone. But actually the next page reads Mr. Grump's Dream Vacation. Mr. Grump's Dream Vacation. So Mr. Grump's dream vacation, let's just wrap up this lesson by doing Mr. Grump's dream vacation. So Mr. Grump is very fussy about things, especially the weather. He does not want to travel anywhere where it might be cold. And he really dislikes rain when he is on vacation. He has narrowed down his vacation choices to 4 destinations or places. London, which I'll show you, Oslo, Warsaw, or Madrid. Can you conduct some research to help him decide which place he should visit? Now, it's important to note, I'm going to show you where those are on the map, but it says important points. The holiday must take place in October. He doesn't want to visit a city where there is any risk of rain, precipitation. He likes reasonable temperatures, not too hot or too cold. He enjoys visiting historical sites. So any of these places really I would think would be historical sites. So let's just, let me share my screen and we are going to go on an adventure. Okay, so as you can see on this map, we're here, just to put it in perspective, we're over here and London, we're over at the Atlantic Ocean and it's here, okay? This is in the United Kingdom and so London is here. Now watch, Norway is up here. So London was about here. Norway's up here. Watch this. Poland is here. And Spain is here. So remember, the Arctic Ocean is the coldest. So whatever's closest to here is probably going to not be as comfortable for Mr. Grump. He wants to visit a city where there's no risk of rain, so we can talk about that. And he likes reasonable temperatures, not too hot or too cold. Where could he go? All right, so we're up here for Norway. Sorry, I said Norway, but it's Oslo, which is in Norway, and Warsaw, which is Poland, and Spain is Madrid. Okay, so that's, I'm just saying the countries as opposed to the names on your paper. So London, England, Norway, which is the Oslo, Warsaw, or Spain. Okay, so now let's take a look back at our colored picture that you colored. Or of course this one. This is about where Spain was, for Madrid. London, about here. Norway or Oslo up here. And Warsaw over here. So those are all pretty similar to each other. Now let's look. Spain would be in the Mediterranean area, and Mediterranean means mild winters, dry, hot summers. So not very, if you're going in October, it's not too bad, okay, where Spain is. Now, if we go up here by Norway, which is way up here, we can say way up here is in blue. That means icy cold. So we could probably knock out Norway or Oslo. So we'll knock that one out. And then looking at Warsaw and Madrid, Warsaw and Madrid. So again, Warsaw's in Poland. Norway was right here. Poland is pretty close to that. Spain is down here. So would we go to London, Spain, or Warsaw? So let's see. It is going to be up to you. So basically he's going to vacation in the orange Mediterranean area or the green, which would be, think about, we're in the green. And think about, we have cold winters and mild summers. And he wants to go in October. What is it pretty nice in October here? It's kind of that fall weather. It's not too cold, it's not too hot. So I'm thinking the green area might be the place he wants to visit. I'm thinking the orange is just might be a little too hot for him, a little too hot and dry. So maybe one of the areas in the green, which again would be Not Norway. Maybe London, or not Spain, or Poland, maybe. I think Spain's too far down here, so maybe we could do London or Poland if you want to pick one of those. And you could definitely do more research on these places if you want to. I haven't been out of the country except for Canada and Mexico, so I haven't been over in this world of ours. So, you could always do more research, but we know it definitely won't be Norway. We know it won't be Spain. So, again, if you want to choose between those, and say why. So why would this be an ultimate vacation for Mr. Grump? We can say, well, Norway's too cold, which would be Oslo, Oslo. And Spain would be Madrid, or Madrid, Spain would be too hot and dry. So I chose, and then you can say what you chose. And I will leave it up to you. So just have fun with this. And that is it for today. Thank you for learning about climate with me. Have a great day.